Well, this is the Greenland's new Labour Club, and this is the spot where the cage fighting took place. We've gathered a few of the people who were involved in that event to talk to us. First of all, to Michelle Anderson. Michelle, you own the club here.
Yeah.
What do you think about all the criticism that's been levelled against this event?
I just can't believe it. I think it's it's just unbelievable. There is just no justification for it at all.
But a lot of people have said that they don't agree with children doing cage fighting. And I'm guessing that a lot of people watching this will agree with them.
Absolutely, but the children weren't doing cage fighting. The children were doing what they call grappling. The cage fighting only comes to them when they get older. We hold boxing events here. We're holding a Thai boxing event here soon, and we have kids fighting then. Nobody's complained about that before. I think it's just the name cage fighting that people are getting annoyed at, or they don't know nothing about it, so they criticise something that they know nothing about. The kids enjoyed it. It was an absolutely brilliant night.
OK, well, let's talk to some of the people who took part in it, and one of the dads, Nick Hartley. This is your son, Cian, Nick, and he took part in it. I mean, Michelle says it's not cage fighting, but it's fighting in a cage, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's more wrestling than fighting. What they call wrestling is grappling. There's no physical punching or kicking or anything like that. It's just more wrestling for the kids. It's a controlled sport.
How old is Cian?
He's 9.
And obviously you're happy for him to take part in events like this?
Yeah, he chose to do it, so if he wants to do it, leave him to go ahead and do it.
But the British Medical Association, the NSPCC and the local vicar, they've all criticised it and said that, this is not the kind of country we want, where children are getting into a cage and whatever the sort of rules of engagement are, so to speak, we just don't want kids doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's only like kids going out doing boxing and things like that. They're getting punched and karate, they're getting kicked, so there's no harm in them going out and doing wrestling in a cage.
So to the people who've seen this video and say, this is brutal, it's barbaric, what would you say?
I'd say it's nothing at all like that. It's a controlled sport that's just wrestling. He enjoys doing it, so I'll leave him to do it.
Cian, tell us what it was like to do the cage fighting. What do you remember about it?
The atmosphere.
And did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Did it make you cry? Did it hurt you?
No.
Did it make anybody cry? Because on the video it looks as though one of the children is crying.
I think so.
All right. Well, let's turn to the trainer. This is Andy Whiteside. Again, Andy, to you, it certainly looks, I think most people would agree, looking at the footage, to be pretty brutal for kids to be involved in.
Yeah, I think they're just blowing it out of proportion, you know what I mean? They're making it look worse than it is. It's a mixed martial arts demonstration. Everybody's labelling it as cage fighting, which it isn't. Obviously, they are in a cage, but, you know what I mean, that's just for show, I suppose, you know what I mean?
And they're not wearing any protective headgear or anything?
They don't need to, because there's no striking, there's no, kicks, knees, elbows. It's just submission grappling. He's been to plenty of tournaments. We go all over the country, Manchester, Leeds. We take part, our gym, in lots of tournaments where it's the exact same, but most of it, it just isn't in a cage.
And did you see a child crying?
I think he was a bit upset, but I think it's just the atmosphere and things. I think it got to him a little bit because he's never been beat before. You know what I mean? All the grappling tournaments, he's won every gold medal there is. So I think he was just a bit took back by it, that he'd found somebody who was quite skillful and he was struggling with, that's all.
All right, well, thank you all very much for joining us. Despite the criticism, they say that they will go on with these events and that there will be another such event here at Greenland's Labour Club.